A rough day for some George County students. They were on board two school buses involved in a rear-end collision on Highway 26. The impact ripped the front of one bus apart, sending more than 30 students to the hospital. News 5's Biunno spoke to students at the hospital tonight, including one young man who says he's lucky to be alive.
Were you scared, William? You weren't scared. You're a brave young man, you know that?
Everybody else was screaming and crying and hollering. And I was just like, what's going on?
The scars on the face of 11-year-old William Cochran are what remain after he survived a parent's worst nightmare. A school bus colliding with another school bus, both filled with children.
All I felt was just the glass flying through the air and me flying through the air, flipping over the seats and hitting the floorboard, and then everything went white. And then I got back up after a few minutes, and they said I had been blacked out.
William, who was in the front bus, says he was then helped by another girl.
And I had a friend on the bus. She's a teenager, and she knows a good fair bit about nursing, and she helped me with all my bleeding and stuff.
That front bus carrying William and his friends was stopped for children getting off when the second bus struck.
Cuts on my arms. I got a busted knuckle. And then on this arm, I've not got as many.
It was loud enough to be heard by Jean Pope, who rushed outside.
When I heard all that and walked out and saw him coming toward me.
And minutes later, dozens of injured students were on her front lawn.
I give the Lord the credit for none of them being killed, because that was a bad thing.
At George Regional Medical Center, it was a code gold. More than 30 casualties, all coming in to a small hospital in Lucedale.
Whenever you get a call like that involving children, you're certainly very worried.
The scene inside the ER was described as a madhouse by parents, but Dr. Christopher Hall says his team was ready and they did their job.
Today certainly it's an A+, and typically that's where we are.
Now the attention turns to the cause of the crash. How could the driver, who was also at the hospital for injuries, ram his bus into another school bus while it was stopped? The answer to that question might come from a camera inside the bus that monitors the driver's activity.
We do have videotapes on most of our buses, and those are being viewed to determine if they reveal any information to us, and then we will continue to investigate and get witness statements of what happened.
Most importantly, no one was killed in this massive wreck in George County. And as for the children who are home with cuts and bruises,
a lot of them were worse than me. I'm just thankful that I ain't as bad as them.
They'll be hugged by their parents a little tighter. In Lucedale, Biunno, News 5.
Of the 30 or so children sent to the hospital, 2 were most seriously injured. One student suffered head and leg injuries and was life-flighted to USA Medical Center. The other admitted to the hospital in George County due to neurological complications. Both are expected to survive. We're told the rest of the children are home with their parents tonight.